Did you notice that there's a lot of longing, seeking, and kind of like eagerness, among so many people wanting experience of enlightenment right away in this very life? There's an increased amount of that going on, I noticed. Why is that? Is that entirely up to us to get to that point of that experience? I don't think so. It takes time because it depends on where we are in our evolutionary journey. We're all moving forward with a certain pace. When we transcend, or when we get that ability to transcend, varies with each one of us. So it's not entirely, up to us to say, hey, I'm going to get enlightened right now in this very life, next month. I'm going to do X amount of practices, therefore I'll get there. It just doesn't work that way. What is enlightenment, actually? What does it entail? It is self realization, realizing or rediscovering our essential nature of being, which we have forgotten. It's all about um, getting rid of our ego driven life, you know, that we're always with, and living the way we're supposed to live. That's what it's all about. It's self realizing our essential nature of living, being, and living that way. So, enlightenment is nothing but getting rid of the ego and reconnecting back to the source we all come from. It's the ultimate process of evolution, where we need to know, must know who we are, why we're here, what's the purpose of life. A little story about myself, how I was driven to that side of experiencing the enlightenment. Um, I was not into any of these things. I didn't grow up with spiritual background, nor did I was I interested in pursuing any spiritual practices for a long time, way into my adult life. Suddenly, my husband had a heart attack. Devastated. I wanted to help him out. Besides the modern medicine, I wanted to do something else. So I learned Reiki, a healing technique. And that, interestingly, took me to meditation. Without any teacher or training, I became a meditator. I loved it. It calmed me down. It did so much. Meditation is not just for enlightenment, it is for day to day life. It does miracles in our day to day life. But mine was a little bit different. I became a meditator without even thinking I would ever get into that. And eventually it became my passion. Suddenly, I had a shift in my perception. The way I viewed life has changed totally. What is the purpose of this life? Where am I going? What's it all about? There's kind of a change in my way of thinking, change in my interests, change in everything. Kind of like down the dumps, depressed, wasn't interested in anything. So that's what I went through for a while. Thank goodness I was a good meditator, so meditations took me where I'm supposed to go. Went deeper and deeper into it. Eventually, they took me, so I was able to tap into that finest fabric of consciousness, where I could experience that unification of everything, that totality, that expansiveness of consciousness, the universal consciousness. That's what it's called. Then I realized I was submerged totally into it. That utmost silence, tranquility, and peace. Can't even imagine. There's no words for it in that dimension. And then I realized we're all humans. We're all nothing but energy. Where all the creation springs from and eventually goes back into. That's who we are, really. We're not even aware of that. And that knowing and understanding kind of like gave me a sense of finally being at home. It's totally a different way of seeing yourself, a belonging so strong, unique, and complete. That's what I went through. That's my experience, which I like to share. I wanted to share with everybody. And actually, that's my thing now. With after that, I wrote a book, and it called it Home at Last. It details all the processes I went through and every little bit what happened in each moment of my life. That process when I was going through the enlightenment. That is an experience of enlightenment. That's what we all will experience. Not just one person. We'll all be able to get to that point. So why create all sorts of misconceptions and worries, chasing all these gurus, teachers, saying, hey, that one is going to give me enlightenment. This one is going to do this. And then we leave our everything and we go after. Don't do that. When it's your time, you'll get there. Let me share some misconceptions that are going around about this. One, thinking that enlightenment is something special, only for those people that are unique, been practicing for a long period of time, or candidates for enlightenment experience. No, it's for every one of us. It's a matter of time, where, and when. That's the only thing, As I said, we're all evolving at a certain pace. When we get to that point, we don't even know sometimes. And so it's a property. It's not a property for one, but for all of us. Number two, don't leave your homes, kith and kin, responsibilities. Go away to mountains, Himalayas, or caves to meditate and get, thinking that you're going to get enlightened. Therefore, forget about all that. I don't want to be with you now anymore. Divorce, let's get a divorce. Leaving everything that's given to you and your, kids, what have you, careers taken off. Now, how do you know you're going to get enlightened? Is it your time? Are you ready? You may or may not get there. So you're losing on both sides. Don't do that. Number three, an imagination that after you experience this so-called enlightenment, you're going to sit in that cloud nine. It's full of bliss, tranquility, and no problems, no nothing. That's not so. You come back to this world again with all the laundry that comes with it. All the challenges, everything, you have to confront them. You have to deal with them. The only difference is you're in a better position now to handle them, far better, with that utmost evenness and equanimity, because you gain that knowledge, you gain that change, and know who you are, what it's all about. That's what. It's going to take time until you integrate everything. Your inner change and outer world and outer interactions must go hand in hand. When that happens, be fine. So don't do that. Don't imagine right away you're going to be in that, and live like that. No, you're part of the world again. Last point of misconceptions. An imagination thinking that you need to change your demeanor, change your clothes, change the way you live your life, and the eating habits, what have you. I can't have a glass of wine now because I'm enlightened. Therefore, everybody thinks, I got to be this way. No. Don't even think of it. Be yourself. Live your life right way. You're doing it everything correct, everything nice, full of life. In fact, you're more responsive and more responding and more doing a lot more than before with that capacity and potential you have, with that expanded awareness you have received, that when you change, that transition and transcendence had happened to you. So you're far better position to do a lot better. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. So don't even think that. So I want to give you 3 tips how to move forward. Number 1, take care of this health. Otherwise, nothing will work. This is called our instrument we deal with every day. You're moving around, everything. It has to be in good shape, good condition, mentally, physically, everything. So take care of it. Eat well, sleep well, exercise. Take some time to first give something for this body, like a car. You need to take care of it. Otherwise, it won't like to do anything, let alone enlightenment. You'll be suffering with a lot of pains and aches and this and that, what have you, right? Number two, there's an excellent technique I had implemented when I was going through my process. That is alternate nostril breathing. I think you must have heard. It's taking deep breath from one nostril, left, close, let go from this nostril. Take a deep breath again from that nostril, close, let go from the other nostril. One, let go. Go in, let go. And that gives you tremendous amount of pranic energy or vital energy. That's what it's called. And that's needed to uplift yourselves to higher consciousness or higher levels of being. That's not only good for your self-realization or enlightenment, it's good for doing your day-to-day work. It'll help you so much. You feel better, less stress, like everything. Number three, never leave your families. Live with your family. Take care of what's in your plate first. That'll take you much farther in your going beyond towards experiencing enlightenment rather than going backwards. Stay with everything. The responsibilities that are given to you are the most important. Could be taking care of your mom, your kith and kin, your husband, your career, what have you. Whatever you have, we all have responsibilities. So we'll stay with that. Thank you.
What a wonderful job Sarada did explaining enlightenment. Her book, Home at Last, really, I think, brings it home. She talks about transcending, about making it real, not forgetting about the physical world, but also seeking enlightenment at your own pace. She brought some great ideas and really explained it very well about what enlightenment really means. So I really applaud her for breaking it down in a very simple way and showing us some helpful techniques that can help all of us.
Sarada is wonderful. You could feel the warmth coming out from her eyes, and the way she talks about enlightenment, but also embodiment, about living on this earth like we are right now, is really helpful for those of us searching. I'm so glad that I came to today and heard her speak. I think it's really going to help my meditation practice.
Yes, it was wonderful listening to Sarada talking about basically guru-free enlightenment, how to become enlightened without having to leave home, going to see a guru, doing all kinds of things that some of us probably think we need to do to become enlightened. Just becoming enlightened in everyday life, sticking with your, the things that you know in life, and just basically becoming more aware around you, more enlightened. And it was just looking forward to reading her book, how she talks about enlightenment, talks about how to meditate. I meditate myself, but I'm just looking, I picked up so much from her, and it was just that she embodies enlightenment for me. Thank you.
I enjoyed Sarada's speech. I particularly liked the kind of mind-body concept. I'm a stroke survivor, and I think many stroke survivors need to learn the kinds of lessons that she talks about. So I think that's just a fantastic thing, and I'm so thankful that she's going to help me on my foundation. So thumbs up to Sarada.